Hello, this is Mrs. Lindquist, and I am here to tell you about what we did in class on Tuesday, September 15th. So if you missed it, this is your video. If you were there but you missed a few things, this is your video too. So I hope you have a great day, and here we go. I'm going to share my iPad with you and show you exactly what you need to do. So when you look at your iPad, you go into Schoology, select courses, and you will select science, whichever hour you have life science, and then you will open up week 2 folder, and in week 2 you'd select the Tuesday folder, and it says presentation and activities for 9:15. We have a activity called Pear Deck, which is an interactive way to go through some information and allow me to collect some information from you at the same time. So you'll have to sign in, and you'll use your email with apps, and then it will direct you through till you can get into the Pear Deck. This Pear Deck is a Pear Deck that allows you to advance the screens at your own pace in class. I directed the pacing of the slides, so it might be a little bit different for you if you were in class. So first screen has some different things for you. I have 2 questions in this first part, and you will answer those here. Now if you're doing a split screen, then it will be a little bit different because it will have right down here a button to answer question, and then you can click back for the question. If you aren't sure how to do a dual or split screen, here's a video for you to watch. And if you missed my introductory video, Meet Miss Lindquist, this is your spot for that also. So this is the starting place, and just type your answer in on your iPad. This is agenda for what I'm going to go over in this video. And we went over Zoom expectations, so I would like you to also give me your feedback for Zoom expectations. In class, we did a breakout room, so you got to put in small groups and discuss these with your small group. This time you're on your own. So circle each one as you read through it, or put a square around it, and you can see that there's different colors you can choose along the bottom, and I have a pencil selected, or you could highlight, your choice. So with a pencil, we're gonna read through just one, and I'll let you read through the rest on your own. It says be on time, wake up early, log in a few minutes before class. So if you have an afternoon class and you're like, I don't need to wake up early for this, maybe you want to make some changes to it, and that's fine. So basically circle or square the ones you've read. If there should be a change to the expectation, write that here, or in class we wrote it in the chat. That won't be an option for you, but you can write right on the screen for me, or you can text. If you hit text, then that will allow you to type on the screen and place that box wherever you want to put it, wherever it seems appropriate. The next screen goes over my commitments, and I'm going to explain these to you so that you fully understand what I mean. Again, as we think about the events that happened in our world this past summer and over many years, I guess since the beginning of the United States, really, there's been racism, and sometimes that racism is hidden bias that we don't always see. So some things that I've committed to doing, and I'm committing to you, engage in vigilant self-awareness. That means that I am reading, listening, and doing as many things as I can to disrupt white privilege and uplift voices and experiences of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. And that's what BIPOC stands for, Black, Indigenous, People of Color. I commit to acknowledging racism and the ideology of white supremacy. That is something where, if this is something you're not familiar with, a lot of times people don't want to acknowledge white supremacy, or you don't see it. And so just a statement related to that is from a book I'm reading called Me and My White Supremacy by Layla Said. And this is what it says. Despite the differences in skin color, hair texture, and physical traits, genetically we are the same. But because race is a deeply held social construct and because of the existence of white supremacy, people are treated differently based on their perceived race. And a lot of times in our country, we use the word racism, and people take that very offensively sometimes. But we have to understand that there are other things, whether it is my blind spots where I might say or do something and I didn't realize the racist nature of that, or there's other things around biases that, again, things you don't realize, that racism isn't always an outward thing. There's microaggressions, there's a lot of different things that a lot of you may or may not have experienced. But I am working as much as I can to be aware of this, and I appreciate when people call things out to me so I can reflect and learn from my mistakes. I also commit to talk about race. Race is something that should be talked about if we are going to make a change in our world. And for science, a lot of times when you look in textbooks and think about science, or a lot of things in our society, it's really from a perspective of white people. And in science, a lot of the people referred to in the textbooks are white dead men. And so I really want to try to bring in different perspectives for everyone, including Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, because different countries, different races, different groups of people have done science, know science, and it can be in stories and different things. So I want to really explore multiple perspectives. So I hit the wrong button to turn that off, so I'll be coming right back to this slide. And then the final thing on my list is say or do something when I see or hear racism. So I will interrupt that if I hear that happening. It's something we all need to work on. And I don't always see or hear everything. So if you report to me, I'll do what I can around that situation too. I'm not going to ignore it, because as it says right here by Dina Simmons, all students deserve to live and learn in the comfort of their own skin. All right, in 7th grade life science, you're going to learn about these different topics. And what I'd like you to do is over here select which of these topics that you are most excited to study. For me, it's going to be all of them that I would select. Unfortunately, here you have to pick your ultimate favorite, and I really, boy, that's a tough one again. For my ultimate favorite, it's probably whichever one we're on, and we're starting ecology, so I will select that one. But you will have to choose which one you are most interested in studying. In class, we had a Zoom poll, and you were able to select multiple ones, or it was also a second question around which one your least favorite. So if you want to send me that in an email, you can definitely do that. Thank you. All right, so we're going to talk about interactive science notebooks, just a brief introduction. Really, it's the whole idea of a warm-up is an in. So you're going to see the in, and that's usually an activity or questions about what you already know. Refresher, get me a background information of your previous knowledge. The through is the work, the notes, it's the new information, and then the out is the reflection. Just what did you learn? How are you going to move forward with this? It's going to look a lot of different ways, but that's the basic format for our structure for each day of science class. So what you're going to do on this slide is just summarize what you just learned about interactive science notebooks. If you need to go back, you can hit the back arrow, and that will allow you to review what it is, but so the arrows. So again, answer in the spot what you've learned about science interactive notebooks. And then you're going to download your interactive science notebook. And so that's in Schoology, and it will make a copy of the notebook for you. Every person will get their own copy. It puts it in Google Slides, and I'll be able to insert slides in as we go. And your job on Wednesday is to complete the slides that have Wednesday in the upper right corner. For today, create the Who Am I assignment, and you can also add pictures there, type in things, or if you prefer videos, create a video answering those questions and just insert the video, and that is totally okay. One more thing about notebooks, if there is ever something where it's writing, drawing, adding, it is your choice to complete it on the computer, your iPad, or you can complete it in Notability, or you can complete it on paper and take a picture of it and then insert that in the place of typing on the screen. Thank you. If you have questions, please send me an email. Thank you.